Nice bathroom. Wow. It's very nice. Hi guys, so I've been avoiding to talk to the camera all day. I think it's largely because I don't have makeup on, honestly. How silly. Anyway, you would have seen, because I took a bunch of like slow clips. Sorry, I'm gonna lean on this like a lazy butt. I'm in my gym clothing because I went to the gym earlier, and then I've been editing a YouTube video. So, what am I saying? Oh yeah. So first of all, today is day 1 of living in Romania, temporarily, but this is super cool. So this is quite a life adventure, I have to say. I'm really excited by this. We're currently living in a hotel, which we will be living in for a while. We don't know for how long, whether or not we'll then move into a apartment or not. Now our place is Romania for a short time, which feels crazy. It does. It's so cool. Like, I never would have imagined. Last year, February, we went to Romania completely spontaneously for a little long weekend getaway. We had an amazing time. It was, as I say, February, so it was cold, it was wintry, and it was perfect because we went to Transylvania. We are now in Bucharest, and we literally only stayed one evening in Bucharest last year, so we really got like the shortest glimpse of it. We've had so far a very good impression. We're staying in a very nice area. It's quite upmarket, but we're going to explore again the area we went to because that was more of the old town. Right now, like, yeah, we're in such a lovely area. People are super nice here so far. I'm sure they are like in any country. Yeah, it's just so cool. So I think Romania is like a place that maybe not many people who are international would think of necessarily. Like, not even Poland, which is where my family is originally from. Like, when I grew up in South Africa and my name is very Polish, throughout my life, people are like, oh, where's your name from? Where's your family from? And I'd be like, Poland. And a lot of people just had no idea about it. Really, a lot of people know of it mainly, sadly, because of the Second World War. But it's also an amazing place to visit, and a lot of people love it when they do go. Anyway, so I feel like Romania's on that vibe. We just got back from America, and hence the no makeup, because it's been 2 full weeks of wearing makeup every day in the US. I'm just giving my face a little break. And so today, what have we done on the first day? Well, what have I done? Because the hubby is working, that's the reason we're here. Oh, so what's cool, we have breakfast included in our hotel. So the start of the day was kind of wake up, get dressed. We went to explore the breakfast just to check it out. Actually, we just checked it out and had a coffee. And then I came back a couple of hours later after having a shower and everything to like eat because I wanted to make it as late as possible. So it was kind of like lunch. Just because we're not really actually breakfast people. Just it's too early to have it at like 7 or 8 in the morning. We are still suffering from jet lag. And Budapest is an additional extra hour forward from Basel, therefore even more of a difference from the east coast of America. So actually, because this is another thing. On our way back to Boston, we were flying via Munich, and in our stopover Munich, we arrived at like 9 a.m., right? And we had like, I think a couple of hours, 2 hours or so layover before we had only a 1 hour flight to Basel, and the journey was over. My glasses, I feel like a bit blurry, or there's like a reflection. But anyway, sorry for the sniffing. Like, I think my immune system's a bit down as well at the moment with all this traveling. We arrived in Munich, 9 a.m. We go to wait for our flight. The flight gets delayed a bit. Okay, fine. Whatever. And then after about half an hour of the delay, suddenly they tell us the flight is cancelled due to weather conditions in Munich. Weather in Munich is looking a bit overcast, but can't see any other weather conditions. And then we look, and no other flight has been cancelled. So I'm like, how, if the weather conditions are so bad in Munich that our flight is cancelled, that are none of the other flights cancelled? Very strange to me. Chaos ensues. So then, because the flight is cancelled, everyone has to go to the customer service desk to get the sorted. And there's quite a few people like flying from America, not only from Boston like us, but like Chicago and other places, because I spoke to a few people along the way, who were all connecting into like Basel. So we went to queue up at the service thing, and they said, no, they're going to give us a train. We can take any train and get to Basel. The shortest train is like 5.5 hours. We were supposed to be in Basel in 1 hour. So already this is like a terrible option. We're like, can we just not get another flight? I mean, the people, I have to say, at the service desk were really not very polite or helpful, which kind of, makes the situation a little bit worse, because it's just like, if you're just kind, your patience is increased by 10. But anyway, so the person's like, nope, everything is fully booked till tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, what about a taxi? No, they won't cover a taxi. This is weather conditions, so they don't cover essentially anything. They're just going to give us a train. But then after this conversation, oh no, wait, we do have a flight in the morning to like Zurich at 7 a.m. or in the afternoon to Basel via something else. Suddenly these two flights are suddenly available. Very strange. And this was like all in the same breath. First telling us everything's fully booked, then suddenly there's these two flights. But the problem is, we're then considering it, okay, it seems like a risk. What if tomorrow there's again this supposed weather condition problems, or they overbooked the flight or something? So we kind of were weighing up our options, and we thought, okay, let's just take this train. It seems like our best option. And by this time, by the way, we're quite exhausted, because obviously we flew from Boston to Basel. We've been waiting a few hours. So we're really traveling for almost like 10, 11 hours. We just obviously wanted to get home. I barely slept on the flight, even though it was an overnight flight, because it's just not easy to sleep, as everybody knows. But okay, whatever. So we decided to take the train. But before we take the train, we need to pick up our luggage. We go to the luggage place. We start waiting for the luggage, thinking we were the first cancelled flight. We haven't yet seen any other flights cancelled. That obviously our luggage is just going to come out immediately. No word of a lie. Half an hour passes, 1 hour passes, an hour and a half passes, 2 hours pass. In between this, we're obviously going to the luggage people like, hey guys, what's going on? These people are more friendly, I have to say, more polite. So it helped with the patience. And they're like, we're really sorry, we aren't able to communicate with anyone. They're no longer picking up the phones. We met this other American lady who had an AirTag, and she could see that the bags were just on the other side of the wall, which is not coming through. And then some people on the flight were actually getting their bags, and some people just gave up and left. And the people at the baggage told us, you can't just leave your bag, and then we'll forward it to whatever address you have. So we decided to wait until the very last possible train option was left, so that we could arrive in Basel still the same day. And eventually we gave up. I think it was 2.5 hours, and we were just like, okay, we need to catch this train, because we have to go to Romania as well, right? And it's not ideal, because we had a plan like, okay, we can get home, we can do all the washing from this trip and blah blah blah. And it was really intense. So yeah, so then commenced this 6.5, and let's just imagine, these people gave us this free train, but they couldn't even like organize to get the luggage out. Okay, amazing. And they didn't find the luggage, I think, for like 2 days. Right now, supposedly it's on its way. We're still waiting for it. Like, we're not holding our breath. Sometime this week, hopefully it comes. At least it's coming. But yeah, okay, so that was my little rant. But that was like a really frustrating situation. Luckily, the trains all ran on time, and we got to Basel, I think eventually at like 10 at night. So it was like 24 hours of traveling and no sleeping. So by the time we got home, this was where I was coming to my point, we passed out. I think we ate some dinner, because we hadn't been able to really eat, because each train was like, we had to be there. We had like 5 minutes, and only one of the trains like had some food service on it. Then we grabbed like a cold sandwich. I think we were also so exhausted, we just didn't really have much of an appetite. So we pretty much passed out that night, and we actually slept, I think I slept 10, 11 hours, which was amazing. So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe this has helped with the jet lag. So I'm like, maybe it was kind of a gift in disguise, right? And then what happened? And then we, the next day, we already knew we were just going to be secluded at home, organizing ourselves to move out, whatever. So we got all of that sorted, left. All the while, we're checking on the status of our bag. All the time, just searching for bag. I'm like, oh my gosh, have they left this bag in Boston? Like, what's going on? Because at this point, we didn't have an AirTag. We've learned our lesson. No, never gonna do that again. We got sorted for the move, and then the next morning, flying to Romania. And that night again, I slept not too badly, but it was weird because we would wake up at like 1 in the morning, and it felt like we were waking up at, sorry for the squeaky, I'm rocking on this. It felt like we were waking up at like 5 a.m. It was a bit confusing. And then unfortunately last night it hit me a bit, so we went to sleep, and then I woke up I think an hour later. No, maybe a couple of hours later. I think we went to sleep at 11:30. At 2 a.m. I was awake, and I was like awake. And I tried to sleep and I tried to sleep, and I think I only fell asleep at like 5:30. So right now I'm really feeling it. Like I was okay, in the beginning of the day you're okay, but now I've got a headache and like I'm feeling not like my normal self. Like I can feel that something ain't right. I need to sleep. After reading that book, Why We Sleep, I have so much respect for my sleep, and I'm so aware when my body is just unhappy and it's all about sleep. Even talking about it making me feel worse, and I feel like I'm all pink. Man, I'm chatting a lot. Anyway, so my point is, a bit jet lagged, but I'm so happy to be here. So today it was just a very chill day. So because obviously our luggage is out there in the ether somewhere, I don't know where, I'm okay, Mateo's okay. We sort of had what we needed at home anyway to make the transfer here. But I did go to the shops because there were some random little things, like I didn't have any more face cream of SPF. And then I went to the shop, and the intention was to get some underwear because it turns out most of it was in my Boston suitcase, the ones that I love. We have our favorites. So then that was not very successful. I didn't manage to find exactly what I was looking for, but I'm not going into detail. But then I got distracted. So I have been looking to buy mesh shoes, mesh pumps, the ballerinas. I know these are controversial shoes. I don't really know why, but it seems to be. But I fall in love with them. I think they're so cute. They're so feminine. They're so great for summer. And then I went into Mango and I saw a really cute pair. I tried them on and they just looked really lovely. Exactly the look I was going for. They're in beige, which is not typically a color I go for. And I was imagining them in white, but I haven't seen yet a white pair. They're much more rare. I guess they get dirty quite easily. And then, by the way, in this shopping mall, it took a 25-minute bus to get there, which I thought was cool. I'll join in the transportation. I see the city a bit and I become one of the locals. I need to learn some keywords in Romanian because I'm like completely clueless. People talk to me, I don't even know how to say thank you, which I'm really embarrassed about. That's the bare minimum. So I say everything in English and I feel like an idiot, which people are very good at English here, so it's not like really a problem. I've only met like one person who kind of didn't speak English, which is, my problem, not hers. This is her country. But yeah, so I want to learn some basic words. But yeah, so I got distracted because there was 50% off of these stunning, what are they? Adidas. I don't know, it says Tokyo, but I don't really know how it goes with the, sorry, I thought I was pointing at my shoes, but I'm not. The shoe naming stuff. And I love the colors because they're the colors of South Africa to me. Green and yellow. All our sports teams are usually in those colors. So I got the mesh shoes, I got these shoes, shocking. And then I got some boxes to wear in the house. And I got a 6-pack of, I think it was 1.5 or 2 liter bottles of water because we didn't have anything in the room. Yeah, that was heavy to carry home because there's at least from the bus stop is also a 10-15 minute walk. So that's been the day so far. It's been pretty mundane, but it's been nice because also in the morning I explored around this local area. It's quite, like I said, upmarket, so not shops that I would typically shop in. It's Louis Vuitton and all that. So just window shopping, just looking from the outside. But there's some really nice restaurants in this area. So yesterday we stopped and had bao buns and sushi, and it was such a nice restaurant, such good service, really fair prices. So that was so nice. Tonight we're going to do an evening walk. Mateo's at the gym at the moment. I went earlier. And we're going to do a little explore and see a little bit of the city and whatever. But I'm going to take you along on this journey because I'm so excited. Can't believe I'm going to be living in Romania for a while. No more Switzerland for a bit, and this is my new life. Hello and good morning. from day 2 in Romania, just in case anyone likes what I'm wearing. So this top I actually bought, I think for $6 in TJ Maxx, as they call it in America, or TK Maxx in the UK. In Europe, I think it's also TJ Maxx, I don't know. And this Uniqlo skirt, which I love. So, despite the fact that I'm just starting to vlog now, it is, hold on, let me check what time it is. It's 3:15 in the afternoon. I've been awake since before 8, so it's that time of the month. It started this morning, which is what woke me up. I haven't actually left the hotel, which is embarrassing, but I want to go now. So I forced myself. I already washed my hair last night and I straightened this morning. And yeah, I just forced myself to actually wash my face. Sometimes I like giving my skin a break, but if I'm going outside, I need my SPF, etc. Today, actually, funny enough, I have my German lessons later in the afternoon, so I need to be back for that, but there's an hour difference. And then, by the way, my shoes, I think I'm most likely, I'm going to wear my Skechers. Why? Because our luggage arrived today. We got an email saying that our luggage was with the courier yesterday evening, and it said the courier would contact me. So since they didn't, I assumed that the luggage was not yet going to come until they did and confirm the time. But instead, at 9 a.m., got a knock at the door, which I was not expecting. And I come to the door, and there is the hotel staff with our luggage, and I was really surprised but very happy. So that's great. So our luggage has arrived. So now we have like 2 bags worth of luggage, which you typically would only have traveled with one. One of it being all the stuff from America. So I've been looking for laundromats, but I can't lie. Even though the experience of a laundromat is quite cute from what we had in America and practical and very budget friendly, I was very surprised. I don't know, I imagined it being expensive. But here in Romania, it's less, I think, common. I have found some laundromats. And we're going to Switzerland again. Well, we're both going, like we're kind of tag teaming it. So I have to go to Switzerland anyway at the end of the month because I'm then traveling on. So yeah, I got my Skechers back. Then this morning, yeah, took it slow, had the bag. So then I slowly started unpacking so that I could sort everything out from that suitcase. And then I went for a late breakfast, as late as possible, as mentioned, so I can kind of have it as a lunch. And I had a delicious little salad and all kinds of little things. It's harder when you're sitting alone because like you don't have enough hands to take, well, at least I didn't have enough hands to take everything I wanted. But yeah, so like I have to kind of just by trust, because it's quite a big space, a big restaurant, leave my plate. I could go to the executive lounge and do the same. They have like a smaller selection. But yeah, because they have a smaller selection, and I don't think they had salad stuff. So I really wanted to have a salad, as well as like I had some eggs, blah, blah, blah. I'll show a picture. But anyway, so then I came back, continued to unpack and organize. And then I've been in like editing a YouTube video, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, going very slow just because this migraine is slowly growing again. But sometimes actually having a distraction, like I noticed I do feel better when I go to the gym, but I didn't go yet today. But I'm actually going to go there now to investigate because I have classes and I think you can get a day pass, which I think here things are much more affordable than definitely than Switzerland. So maybe I'll do that a few times so I can join the classes. But outside of that, I just want to go and get some fresh air, though it's very hot today. It's like 34. So let's see how long that lasts. I need to be back for my German lesson. But yeah, I want to force myself to get moving because I am sure I will feel better if I just move about. Actually, it's completely counterintuitive. But if I get on the treadmill when my period starts, I feel so much better. It's just like, it's so counterintuitive. And I learned this actually in high school. I think I mentioned this before. All right, I went to a dancing school, by the way. Part of my routine, outside of all the usual subjects, maths, English, and physics and things, I also had to do dancing classes a few hours a day. And I noticed that actually when I was in a ballet class or whatever, I did feel better. And of course this doesn't go for everybody. I also put hair colors. I straightened my hair and I put hair colors because I realized now with these shorter pieces in the front. So anyway, it kind of looks nice. All right, I'm rambling. I'm going to go out. I just wanted to say hi and update you. And this is probably exiting at the peak of the day. The stupidity is real on my part, but I need to do it before my German lesson, so let's go. Despite saying I'm going to wear my Skechers, I decided to try out my new shoes from Mango. The mesh pumps or ballerinas or whatever you want to call it. I quite like that you can see my white nail polish through them. I really love how feminine they are. They have a little bow on them. I usually go for really sporty things, but I really think that this suits me, at least in my opinion. I wanted to show the final outfit of the day.